Cenotes, vast underground networks of waterways and rivers and lakes, possibly a location for human sacrifices by the Mayan civilizations? Maybe it's both. Why don't you come along with Marvy and me as we take you on a trip we call Three Cenotes in one day? Marvy and I started our day in the colonial city of Merida, where her family lived, and we teamed up with a couple family members, Alfredo and his daughter Alejandra, to go to Gruta Santa Maria. Along the way, we picked up a guide to help us find the cenotes. Now, we knew we were going underground, we knew we were going to get wet and go swimming, and we knew we were in for an adventure to see some incredible cenotes for the day. What we did not know, and we thought might happen, was that we might end up actually as one of those ancient Mayan sacrifices. We had a lot of fun on the way, just trying to find out where we were going. But as we wound through the small Mexican streets, we were looking for the sign to the entrance of Santa Maria. It's a small restaurant, it has a swimming pool, and it actually has a very small, dark cenote. It would be the first one that we would be going on for the day, but since we had never been in a cenote before, it was still going to be an adventure, since it was our first adventure for the day. In retrospect, I can't really say that I was disappointed at our first cenote. It certainly didn't look like what we had seen in pictures and videos of emerald green waters deep underneath the ground with rope swings, etc., etc. But it was dark and it was mysterious. It was our first adventures. Some of the ways were lit with incandescent lights, while other ways were dark and mysterious still. We found little pools in every cavern we visited that allowed us to go swim, and when there were lights, you could see that the water was magnificently clear and truly enjoyable to swim in. However, as we wound our way through, we kind of realized that it was still early in the day. We had a lot of places, we had two more cenotes to go to and some places to see. So we climbed up out of the first cenote and headed off onto our next adventure. The small-town Mexican version of a taxi would be this vehicle, a motorcycle with 4 seats mounted on the front wheel. It works incredibly well, although you are kind of tempted at first to hang on for dear life as you get started. However, we use this vehicle to go to our next cenote down the streets, and as you will see, on some pretty rough dirt roads. As we continued on our journey to the next cenote, we wandered off from the paved roads onto the dirt and gravel roads of rural Mexico. We were on this road for about 25 minutes, and it became pretty evident that this cenote was not where you're going to see a lot of tour buses or gringos. While the first cenote could be considered dark and mysterious and simply amazing because it was our first one, this one was not disappointing at all either. Some could describe it as a large sinkhole, but essentially the ground opened up to this huge water source below where the sun shone through, illuminated the beautiful water. You could walk down the stairs and enjoy a great swim. Overall, this was a fun cenote. Well, after swimming for an hour, we realized that it was time to ascend out of the cenote, up the staircase, climb back onto our motorcycle taxi, drive another 20 or 30 minutes on gravel roads to yet another cenote, this one further out, further remote. But as the sun started to go down, we took a look at exactly where we had to descend to get into it, and we were still very excited to start the last leg of our journey. My only complaint about this cenote was that it was so poorly lit. If you were to look at a photo of what it looks like very well lit, you could see it's actually quite beautiful, but jumping off from that platform into the dark abyss below was quite a challenge and took a little bit of courage to do. But we all mustered up enough courage to jump either off from that one or from another one and swam for a while before finally making our way to the surface up above. We swam here for about an hour and enjoyed our time in our final cenote before we decided to make the final ascension out of the cenote, up the stairs, back onto our motorcycle taxi, and back home. Thanks so much for watching our 3 cenotes in one day. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and there's also a notification bell that you can hit that'll let you know when our next video is coming up. And as always, if you have something that you would like to share or make a comment, please do below. Look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.